With summer around the corner, having a cool, refreshing, and protein-packed poke bowl is just about the perfect answer for a summer lunch or dinner. Or if you're in Hawaii, it could be breakfast too. One of the beautiful natures of a poke bowl is the versatility in that you can top it and fill it with just about any kind of toppings and accoutrement or accompaniments that you'd like. So we're going to start with some pickled onions, and for that I'm going to top and tail a red onion and then slice it thinly from pole to pole. How thinly you go is up to you. Next up, for our pickling brine, I'll add equal parts water and apple cider vinegar to a bowl along with some sugar and salt. Heat that up in the microwave so that sugar and salt can dissolve, and then just stir it all to combine. I should add, these are going to take about 24 hours, so you'll want to do these in advance if at all possible. I mean, they'll be edible after 60 minutes or so, but cover them and pop them in the fridge for about 24 hours and you'll have some beautiful pickled red onions. Our next component for this poke bowl will of course be some cucumbers, which we will thinly slice. You could pickle these as well, but I think since we're pickling the red onions, they can just be a wonderful, cool, refreshing snack. Next, we'll make our poke, and for that I'm grabbing about a pound of Ahi sushi-grade tuna here. As you can see, just like any protein, it does have some lines there. The meat grain is running one direction, and we're going to eventually want to cut against that. We're also going to want to get these down into bite-sized pieces, so I'm going to cut this fillet in half. And then just cut these down into somewhere around 1/4 to 1/2 inch pieces. Anything larger than that and they're just going to be unpleasant to try and bite and chew through. Once again, just dicing this up. I'm looking for about a 1/4 inch dice here, and we'll make our poke marinade or sauce, which is going to involve some soy sauce, some vinegar, some toasted sesame oil, a little splash of mirin, a little bit of sambal olek, some red pepper flakes for heat, and a little bit of toasted sesame seeds. Finally, we'll toss in some green onions, give that a stir, and then we can bring the tuna to the party. This needs at least 15 to 20 minutes to marinate in the fridge, but at that point it's really ready to go and you want to use it within 24 hours. We'll prepare a couple more garnishes as well for these poke bowls. The first being an avocado, pretty classic garnish with any kind of poke bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and slice it all the way around the midsection using that pit or seed to keep the knife from going all the way through. Just twist the two sides against one another and pop it open. We'll take that seed out. Go ahead and use a spoon to scoop out the flesh of the avocado. And then I'm just going to cut this very nice and thinly. Presentation kind of does count here, at least if you're, filming it. If you're making this at home, I don't really care. Smash this crap up, throw it in a bowl. It's going to taste amazing no matter what. But for presentation purposes, I'm cutting this into some nice thin slices, using my finger just to help keep things from getting out of control there. And then for a final garnish, I'm going to slice up some green onions here. Instead of going across them, I'm going to go lengthwise here. So just slice a green onion from end to end so you can fold it out like a book. And then just very carefully go back through and cut it down into some very thin strips. This is definitely completely optional, but I do love to take these thin strips and toss them into some ice water, at which point they will curl up very wonderfully for us and will be a beautiful garnish, along with some chopped macadamia nuts. Macadamia nuts are everywhere in Hawaii, and of course this is a Hawaiian traditional dish, so I think macadamia nuts are an essential garnish. We'll drop down the bed of all great poke bowls, and that being some warm sushi rice. You don't want it to be steaming piping hot, but if it's cold, the texture is going to be a little bit off, so I like just some room temperature freshly cooked rice. Next up, one of those beautiful bag salad kits from the lettuce section in the grocery store. I just mix that together in a bowl and put it in one corner. Gonna lay down those cool, crisp cucumbers next. I've got some matchstick cut carrots. Those are just gonna add some color, some crunch, and a little bit of sweetness. Those beautifully pickled red onions go down next. That sliced avocado. And then finally, we'll pile up plenty of that poke right in the middle. And guys, obviously you've got beautiful color contrast here, but there's textural contrast, there's temperature contrast with that warm rice, that cool fish, the crunchy cucumbers, the crunchy macadamia nuts are a wonderful topping. And then I also like to add a little bit of furikake, which is a mixture of sesame seeds and seaweed and other flavors. You can find that in the international section. And then finally, a little sriracha mayo. Again, you can find that in the international section, or just make it yourself by mixing equal parts sriracha and mayo. Top it with those curled up scallions, and that is an absolutely beautiful bowl of food. I understand if you don't want to go to the trouble to make it look this pretty at home. Like I said before, somewhat jokingly, but not entirely. Just throw a little bit of this stuff in a bowl, mix it together, and I can tell you, well, as long as you don't drop it on the floor, you'll be quite happy with the results. It's savory, it's salty, it's unctuous, you've got crunch from the cucumbers, and the macadamia nuts have a nice sweetness and, well, nuttiness, of course. Those pickled onions are tangy. That rice is just warm and the perfect bed for all those creamy, spicy, salty flavors. This is an absolutely delightful bowl of food. I highly recommend you give it a try. Even if you think you don't like raw fish, you're really just not going to notice the texture that much when you stick it all together in your mouth. So give it a try. I know you're going to love poke as much as I do. Or at the very least, go make something delicious.